Hello class, welcome to week 2 of Business Law 1. I hope you're doing well and I want to wish you success during this week. I want to talk about your assignment for week 1. If you've gotten a feedback from me that you may have lost points or you may have received a 0 because of plagiarism, I do encourage you to take a look at that assignment again. You may want to try rewriting and resubmitting the assignment. The idea here is that you have a good idea of how to submit work where you properly source your resources and understand how to use in-text citations and have a reference list. So go ahead and revise that assignment and resubmit it. I would urge you though, when you are reviewing that assignment, you go to the week 1 assignment template, and I'll take you to that template so you would have a good idea of what I'm referring to. The week 1 assignment template, had you used that assignment, some of you would have avoided some of the issues I saw in your week 1 assignment. So take a look at the template. I'll take you to it. The week 1 template was posted on October 31st. Here is what it will look like if you go to the October 31st announcement, which says week 1 assignment tips and guidelines. You'll see the template here. You click on it, week 1 template. It will take you to a Microsoft Word document. Let's have this document open. It will take you to a Microsoft Word document that looks like this. Now, here you'll see you have your running head. And this assignment is in Microsoft Word, so you can take it and use it as your own. Then you wouldn't have problems formatting your assignment in APA. This assignment is so that you're able to use it and you wouldn't have problems APA formatting the reference list. So let me take a look at it. Let's take a look at it and see. Sorry, I'm having problems sharing that with you at this time. Just give me one moment. But what you can do is go ahead and take a look at that template and follow the guidelines provided. It is already in APA format. Now, for those of you who may have missed your primary sources of law or didn't understand what the 4 primary sources of law are, you want to make sure that you're reviewing the resources provided to you in the classroom. You will see here that I posted an announcement on October 30th. And basically, these are your primary sources of law. You have the Constitution, you have the statute, case law, and administrative law. If you click on this link here, it would provide you with an explanation of each of these sources of law. So you shouldn't have had an issue understanding what the 4 primary sources of law is and how you can discuss and explain each of them, because the information, you were actually given the information. So I want to encourage you to go back and make sure you're reviewing the announcement page for the resources that are provided to you. Now, some of you had problems with your in-text citations and your reference lists. Here you will see on October 31st, I would have posted an announcement that provided some examples on APA formatting. Take a look at these. There's examples on how to post a website, use the reference list would look like, what the in-text citation would look like, how to post a website with no author, and then I provided you with links to a number of resources that would have explained to you how to properly APA format your work. So just make sure you understand how to use in-text citations and how to format your reference list using these resources here. Also remember, in the Herzing Library, there are a number of resources, APA formatting resources available to you. So just make sure you are using those resources. Now, let's take a look at the announcement posted on November 1st, which spoke about plagiarism. You would have seen here, take a read, you would have seen here that if you had a score, a safe assigned score that exceeds 25%, your work may not be original, which means you would either lose points or you would receive a 0 for the assignment. So you want to make sure that you review your safe assigned originality score. Here again was a video that was created for you on the 4 primary sources of law. So just make sure you're reviewing the resources provided to you in the classroom. Now, let's take a look at what is expected of you during week 2. In week 2, you have your initial discussion response, which should have been posted on Wednesday. You're required to post 2 responses to your peers, and the first part of your project is due on Sunday, November 11th. Now, to the project. Again, I've given you a template for this assignment. Click on this link here to download the template. Use the template to help you format the assignment. You will see here I've provided you with additional tips on completing this assignment. Now, your final project part 1 is in the form of a memo. It is a 2-part assignment. You're required to do a memo, which means it would look a little different this week. You wouldn't have that title page that you would have on the APA format, but you would want to make sure your assignment follows APA form, memo form. And this template would have already been set up in memo form. So make sure you're reviewing the template and using it. Then you're also required to provide a chart. Please make sure you are looking at the resources in the classroom. I would have provided an example in the supplemental resources in the classroom. Now, for your week 2 assignment, this is the grading rubric. You want to make sure and you look at the expectations for each, the criteria, just to make sure you're meeting each of them. Now, if you want to have a score between full points, you want to make sure you're in above the expectations. And then your court structure, take a look at that and see what you need to do in order to make sure you score exceptionally well. Now, I did say that I provided you with a sample, a template for the court structure, or an example of what that would look like. You would find that in your student resources. You click on your week 2 materials, and here you see Court Structure of Texas. Click on that, and here is your sample court structure. Just make sure you format it using this simple chart and completing the information based on the state in which you live. My goal is to ensure you're successful, so let's take a look at your discussion for week 2. You want to make sure you're adequately addressing each question in the discussion prompt. The first part of the question asks that you conduct research on a company of your choice. So you're going to do that research and identify the company. Clearly identify the company, so you've met part 1 of the requirement. Then you're going to discuss the activities this company considers socially responsible. So this is a paragraph all by itself. Discuss the activities this company considers socially responsible. Then the next part of it says, analyze and discuss the influence the reporting activities may have on the firm's management and explain whether you believe these practices are ethical. That's a second paragraph on its own. Each paragraph, these 2 paragraphs, must be supported by in-text citations, and you should have a reference list at the end based on the in-text citations you would have used. Remember, your initial response should be a minimum of 250 words. You are required to post 2 peer responses of 100 words each. Your peer responses will not simply reiterate what your peer would have said, but you want to add new relevant discussion ideas. So just make sure that you are adding value when you respond to the discussion of your peers. That's it for week 2. If you have any questions, again, feel free to give me a call. I am available. Explore the week 2 activities table to see what is required of you. Here you'll see your sequence of activities, your primary response, Wednesday, your secondary responses due by Sunday, and your assignment project part 1 due on Sunday as well. These are your weekly presentations, so make sure you're reviewing these. This will help you as you complete your assignment. And then these are some other additional resources for you. Here you will see your final project part 1. And again, as I speak of resources for the project, you'll see the project instructions and directions. And then here is the template a second time in a second area, another area of the class, and in a Microsoft Word document. You can download the template for the assignment here. Follow the instructions for the memo, as well as for the chart. If you have any questions, again, like I said, feel free to give me a call. Have a wonderful evening, and I look forward with anticipation to reading your assignment for this week. Remember that I would have said earlier that you cannot reuse the content from the week 1 assignment for this assignment. So just make sure that you are creating an entirely new paper, even though the information is your own. You cannot recycle papers, so just make sure you are doing a completely new paper. Thanks again, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the week.